Welcome back to Ing's Corner. This is episode 152. This is not too far from when I recorded my last episode, but now it's nighttime. It's currently nearly 8 p.m. I am back at the hostel, and I hope this is a quieter place for me to record something longer. Hopefully, So I'm at the garage, by the way. It's like outdoor garage. And what I wanted to kind of document before, me moving again to another state is that because I didn't document the whole process here on the podcast. And so the whole thing started in May. I was this thing I mentioned. And so this is actually part of the process of me playing with ChatGPT with fortune telling. I think I mentioned working holiday and stuff, but it's not something that I intentional, and it's not something that I mentioned because I'm planning to do it actually in soon. Not sure how to describe that. So it's in the fortune telling chat, and I was asking for some other things, and then it just prompted me that this year will be really suited for you to go on a working holiday. And I was like, what? That's so out of nowhere. And I asked ChatGPT that, so because if I really wanted to go, then it's going to be after September. September is quite close to 2026. So I was like, should I go this year or next year? And I didn't tell ChatGPT about my deadline and stuff, explicitly at least. And it uses, all the mysterious energy around you and timing in your life and etc. I don't understand any of that. And it uses those and say that you should go this year, and why? And because your energy is high, is suitable for a big change, and not and next year will be suitable for a different thing. And if you change this such a big change in next year, you'll face a lot of difficulties and etc. And I was like, okay. I mean, I wanted to go. If I were going, I would want to go this year as well, as soon as I finish, because it's to me, I don't, it's hard to explain. I wanted to do this really ASAP after I finish my last deadline, because then it leaves no time for other people to process it. Because I will be so focused on my school, right? And then whatever I'm posting, or either online or in person, people will know I'm so focused on this, and it will be a surprise. I don't know why I want to do that, but just that's just me, okay? So I want this thing to be a surprise that no one knows, or they're it's very sudden. Maybe people around me perceive me as someone that do things in bursts of energy already, so there wouldn't be a surprise, but also be, oh you're going, and then they will just accept immediately, something like that. So that was my plan. And I think it was okay. So the day I chatted with the fortune telling ChatGPT for a day or two. I mean, the first day I was focusing on one thing, and the second day I was like, okay, so let me actually think about the possibility of this, because there are a lot of story behind this. Actually, nearly 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was so pissed with my life, and especially my family, and I just wanted to escape. I mean, this is not the first time I wanted to escape, but this is the first time I think I can actually do it if I want to. 2 years ago it wasn't really possible, but that was just mindset. And so I entered the Canada working holiday pool, and at that time it was showing the chances are low, because it was, I think they don't have a fixed time of the year for picking someone from the pool. It's just a luck thing. They choose how many people they want to pick or grab out of the pool. And I entered December 31st of 2021, I believe. It was the last day of the year anyway. And then I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna wait 3 months, 6 months, whatever. And it was during Lunar New Year that before the New Year there's another entry for the UK working holiday, and that has 2 different entry times throughout the year, and you gotta do an email or something. And so I did that I think 2 or 3 weeks, but it's less than a month after I entered the pool for the Canada working holiday. And both these things doesn't cost anything just by entering, so that's why I can do it. And then, but less than a month, so it was not even the end of January. It was January 24th or something. I think I entered the pool for sent the email for the UK working holiday on the 17th. Yeah, and then on the 24th, I literally received the email for, oh, you're selected for the Canada working holiday. I was like, the fuck? Like, what, like I'm just so much in shock, but I'm also like really, really excited, but I cannot share anything with anyone. I remember, because why do I remember all the dates like so like perfectly? Because I did write all these down, and I think it was like 3 weeks ago. One day I was like so bored of prepping for my projects, and I just took the time and actually go through like my emails and documents and like some of the stories, and I did take a picture of the like government the government letter, but it showed nothing, and I typed nothing. I was just like very surprised or something, and that picture, only me, I would know what's that, and because I couldn't find the email anymore, and I think I think I found only the enter the pool one, and I cannot log into the portal anymore because for some reason I think they changed like if you're not using the system, they will remove it, and if you need to log anything, you have to create a new one, and obviously I don't, so I didn't. And even if I create a new one, it wouldn't have the old records, and that's what I need. So I found the date on Instagram, just one little post, one little story, and the entry date on the email, and also the entry date for the UK one in the email as well. Yeah, so that's why. And yeah, fast forward, I was trying to research like throughout February and stuff, trying very hard to research about all the pre-departure costs for if I were to go to Canada for working holiday. And I do have a specific city that I wanted to go to, but it's relatively expensive. I've been there before, and it's more expensive now, and so I was researching about the housing and like the possibility of doing a part-time job along with my studies, because I was thinking to do the studies still at that time, but then it's basically impossible to survive with a part-time job, let's say at a grocery store or something, and study to like afford rent and food and transportation, whatever. So it was after quite a while that I was like, yeah, I think I have to give up. I didn't even went to the health examination. Thankfully, because that costs a lot as well, and also the plane ticket is a hefty amount. So yeah, and so obviously I didn't get the UK one as well, so that's no for both. And after they fail like Canadian and UK one, I mean, I don't think I know whether I got it or not for the UK one. I just know I didn't receive anything, and I started to research about the US working holiday. It's not like, official, right? So you have to be a college student for that. And I was like, I am a college student, but then what are the conditions? And I contacted so many people and attended like webinars, and ended up finding that I am not eligible for the working holiday because I am not a Taiwan university student. Like I'm not a Taiwanese university student. Yeah, so that's a fail. And I was like, oh my god, that's just very, very bad. Yeah. And so later, I think after that, I stumbled upon. I mean, I know about Australia working holiday all along, but I didn't wanted to learn about it because it's very random. By the way, I forgot which year, but I don't even remember where I met this person. But there's a guy that I met at an event or something, a Taiwanese guy, by the way, and he mentioned that I think I already had thought to go on working holiday, and he just commented like, oh, he would like to go on working holiday, but he like the tone is like he despised going to working holiday in Australia. And I was like, I'm curious, but also like, why that that aggressive, And he was like, there are just too many Taiwanese here. I was like, okay, that's reasonable, but also I can understand why you don't want to go to a country that already has a lot of your like similar person, because that's me when I was abroad. Like I don't want to be around people that speaks Chinese or still with Asians and stuff. So I understand. But I think, and that's the only reason I can think about why I didn't consider Australia working holiday before, even though this person means nothing to me. Like, I don't even know who that is. And yeah, so up to that point, I didn't consider Australia working holiday. But then I was like, after all these three, failed chances, I went to a few webinars online and do quite some research about Australia working holiday. And it turns out it's relatively more feasible, especially, I was only looking at very few factors back then. First is the salary, obviously, and then it's like the living expenses. So it's one of the highest, like the minimum wage is one of the highest in the world, and it's definitely the highest closest to Asia, and because the other ones are like in Northern Europe. And then also the living cost isn't too high. That's the thing. That's why people can save money, right? So that makes me like, okay, I think I can consider this option actually. then me and my mom, we talked about this, and like we actually calculated if I can actually like save money if I were the prerequisite is still I am still studying. And it's just so annoying because like I hated studying, and I don't want to do it. It's not like I don't want to do it anymore. I know like it's valuable, but it's just so painful to me to keep doing it. And then yeah, so we talk, and basically it's like, yeah, I can survive, but I cannot like save money, and all of that because I still need to study, and because I cannot work full time. And we figured out, okay, if I wanted to go, I will have to finish my study first. And it's not like a parent to child thing, like, oh, you gotta finish first before you do that. No, it's just like I totally agree with that as well, because I wanted to save money to that's my goal. So yeah, and it's just very disappointed that all of these happened within, I think, 2 or 3 months. And so 4 failed chances at working holiday, and I'm also like very annoyed or just not interested in my school at that time. And yeah, so jumping fast forward to this May, right, I was playing with ChatGPT with fortune telling, and it brought up this idea. So I started thinking, okay, what about like money wise, because some things has changed, and I'm for once I'm almost finished, right? So I started to think about the logistics, the reality, and because back then, like a few years ago, my plan was I wanted to bought a secondhand car almost immediately. Like I didn't plan like in detail, but I had the thought like I wanted to buy a car when I first come here. And the second thing is also that, wait, what's the second thing? So I was saving up for doing LASIK surgery for my eye, and it was like, it's not like I'm saving for something, it's more like I put aside money for that, and I would not use those money, if that makes sense. So this year in May, I thought about it. It was like, life is short. I don't know how long my life can last. Why would I want to invest such a big amount of money into my eye to see the world when I cannot really see the world, right? And then also because I met someone else that was like giving me advice in terms of buying a car here for working holiday, and they don't recommend. It's someone that I have relatively deep conversations with, so I trusted them instead of just like a stranger. Yeah. And then so they said that they don't recommend newcomers buying a car directly for blah 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 reason. It was like, it makes total sense. And so this conversation with the car happened in like November, December last year. And so when in May, I was like, right, if I take the money for my for LASIK surgery, and it's okay. So for the surgery, it's like I do have the money. It's whether I am willing to use that money on LASIK surgery. Yeah, that would be a more accurate description. So I was like, okay, if I don't do the LASIK surgery, and if I don't buy a second car when I first landed, I will have more than enough to survive, especially because at least I have English ability. I'm capable of speaking, expressing myself. At least I don't have trouble communicating. And I'm not like a trash at working in general. Like I do have experiences and stuff. So I was like, it wouldn't be impossible. It's just like whether I'm willing to work or not, right? Like it wouldn't be an impossible thing for me to find a job with a low budget. So I was like, yeah. And I was still doing lots of budgeted travel even after I decided to come. And because at first I was like, oh no, I'm going to Australia. I have to save up on that because there's already pre-departure costs and all that. But then later I was like, well, if I missed this time, when am I gonna do these next? So I just decided to just do it, just go for it. So I went to Vietnam for 6 days last month with a former colleague of mine, and it was amazing. It was just very chill and just amazing, and very, very low budget as well. How low is it? We both of us, including every single teeny bit of item that we bought or we need to spend, is 16,000 Taiwanese dollars. So each person's like 8,000, which is like super duper cheap. Okay, so back to the topic. I started my application within a few hours of me fortune telling with ChatGPT, and I was like persuaded, so I was convinced. And I first booked a health examination with hospital. Fortunately, I can do it the next day. So it was actually, I think, 3 or 4 a.m. at that time, because my sleep schedule was kind of the opposite at that time. So I booked it, because sometimes it takes, like a week or two or even more for you to like be able to book one, and that's the determination for when your visa will come down, because after you submit it, you can only do the health examination after you submit it and pay for your application. But then your application doesn't actually get processed before you've done your health examination, and the system with the center will upload it for you. So I am very fortunate that I can actually literally just book the next day, which is like more than 24 hours later. And I went to the bank to apply for proof of funds. It cost $50 and then I came back home and submitted and paid for the application. And the next day I went to do the health examination, and then it was Friday afternoon, I believe, I did the examination, and my visa was granted Tuesday afternoon, which is so exciting. And the thing is, if the future me remembers, the day of visa granting is actually the same day that I found out my randomly grocery shopping reel went viral. Yeah, and it's been 2 months since the video was posted, and finally the views is not going up anymore. It's stuck at like 121k, I think, yeah, I just saw it today. So it was funny. So it's like a lot of things happened together, and there's just like, I share nothing online or with anyone, like literally anyone. I'm really proud of myself, because I'm always oversharing, and I can't really contain a secret. And this is I wouldn't say like the biggest, but it's like one of the biggest I would need to keep. And it's for my own sake. It's not for other people. It's like I'm not keeping someone's secret. I mean, it's relatively easy to keep other people's secret for me in some cases, because I would just forget it. Anyway, so I got the visa much quicker than I thought. And there's this issue that I was worrying about, because I've got 2 names on my passport. One is like the Chinese literal name, but to English, right? And it's like the spelled out name. And the other is my English name. So I've got my English name on a passport, and I was able to use my English name in a lot of official situations because of that. I did created bank accounts in Canada using that name, and I did also register and apply for every single thing for my UK university. So I was just like, I never thought that would be an issue until, well, not until, but just like, but I know Australia is more strict and tradition in a lot of things, and I would just assume, I have no, there's nothing to base off. It's just a random guess, a feeling that they would be more strict on this. And so I submitted the application and was like, fingers crossed it went through, and hopefully it didn't just reject me because the name is different, but it asked me to, use a different name or something. But then it went through. So my visa was under my English name. And fast forward to, I'll talk about preparation later. And then fast forward, because this is the same topic, fast forward to now, or like the past few days, when I entered Australia, I wasn't able to use the machine, because the machine scans the bottom barcode, and the barcode only contains one name, which is from the pinyin name, not the my English name is under the category also known as, so AKA. And so I have to went to counter, but it's not really an issue. They just like, I didn't even need to talk. They just let me through, and then passed everything. I was like, okay, cool, I'm in, right? So they like, none of the process checked the visa or anything. It's just everything's digital, which is great. Until. So there is actually an issue. So until the next day, we went to the bank, me and my travel partner. I didn't mention it. Yeah. Anyway, so I have a travel partner that I don't really know. We're not friends. We just know each other from threads, and we have the same goal. So we came together to help each other out. And so we went to the bank, and we already applied or opened our bank account online. So we just need to do the identity check for the bank card to be actually issued to us. And here is the issue, because the name, okay, first of all, the name that I apply is my English name and doesn't match my passport. I was like, what? But that name is also on passport. And they're like, no, they don't recognize that. And I was like, the fuck, this is literally the passport. And I would just say, I was so enraged that day, just annoyed to the extent max. But obviously I can't do anything. I can just hope that it went through, because if it doesn't, I'm literally leaving Australia, because I will not be able to open any bank account here, and that means I will not be able to work here. Yes. Anyway, so Because I will just say because every country has their passport a little bit different, and the banker, the teller, whatever, try to find a way out, or try to find the actual way, or like the appropriate way to read my passport. There isn't a match example for like Taiwanese passport, and the closest one they were able to find was the Malaysian passport, and they're just like, yeah, literally, it gotta be. They only read the code on the bottom. I was like, oh, I was just so annoyed. So my travel partner, got their card immediately after identity check, because there isn't an issue. But mine, they have to go through the actual like department in the bank for identity check, and it was a Friday, so I have to wait until Monday, which is very annoying. And because we're moving very soon, and we have to wait until bank cards were down. And so we're like, how many days do we need to extend? And the banker said Monday, but it's not a guarantee, right? And like Monday morning, still nothing. I was so stressed. It's like I'm not like really stressed, it's just there's so many uncertainty, and there's just like one more, and also I have no way to solve it, right? So but thankfully it came. I got the message at 1:46 p.m. and so I went to get my card, and things are solved. But I just have to, like, in some circumstances, well, in a lot of circumstances, I can still actually use my English name officially. But in very few circumstances, for example, working with the government, if I ended up working in the government, or with the government, or there's anything like official, like registering government courses, etc., because there are some, I would need to use the pinyin name. And it's just, because this problem, I didn't ask anyone around me that I know is coming to working holiday in Australia, because I don't think anyone would not want to use their Chinese name, because I really hated that name, and due to a lot of different complicated factors, I ended up didn't changing the name. So yeah, and that was the most stressful part, I would say, since I came to Australia. And now it's, okay, let's talk about the preparation a bit. So for the preparation, aside from getting a visa, I started to list down the things that I think I will need, or the minimum things that or like I have a category like must have, good to have, want to have, etc. And yeah, I didn't bring a lot of them, because it's not really like necessities. But I kind of expect myself to, as I said, I expect myself to fall in love with the country, with the city. So that's why I wanted to die a lot of things. I was saying Chinese, I want to bring a lot of things that makes my life more comfortable instead of life necessities. And I am grateful that I didn't bring any of those, like things like security camera, tissue bags. Tissue bag. I brought small packs of that, but I didn't brought like the. What I was thinking to bring is the Costco like big comfortable pack, and things like the like portable projector. That's what I really wanted to bring, and also the, not a tripod, but like 脚架, but it's pretty big. It's like it can withstand the portable projector, and also phone or other camera, obviously. And what else, like weight scaler, and anyway, a lot of things. So I didn't end up bringing, but I did bring badminton racket, because it's just there really is no chance or no way that I can play it in Taiwan. So like I have to accept that for a very long time, and you might think it's impossible. No, it really is. So I was like, before I came, I already found 2 groups of people that's playing in Brisbane, even though I would not be able to join, but at least I feel like it's something I would be able to find a way and play here, even if there's no court. I've got 2 rackets, and we can just like play it casually, whatever. So yeah, I did bring it, and I brought like 30 kilograms in total, and 9 of them is my electronic devices. Yeah, there's so many of them, and I mean the start isn't great, but like the preparation, I just have to refrain myself from buying more than what I actually needed, and a lot of things I can actually just use what I have. And then the things that I actually bought are like backup watch band, phone case, screen protector, these 3 things I'm sure, and toothpastes. I kind of regret buying that, because 1, it's relatively expensive, and 2, I don't really like I'm only one person, right? So my original toothpaste, it can last for months. Probably, I don't know if it can last for half a year maybe. So I kind of regret bringing one of that because my first one is still very full. And what else? I bought yeah, I mean, I bought quite a few things. Like travel for travel, like packing. So I got some travel or portable hanger, or one portable hanger, and a like travel waterproof sort of bags. Because yeah, there's just like I actually do need more bags to carry things, and within my large bags, because I only brought one suitcase, and that's a hand-on luggage. That's a carry-on. So yeah, and yeah, I mean it's been a long time. Like ever since I got the on some of the TSA locks, things like that, hooks. So yeah, and ever since I got the visa, I do planning sparely, especially in June. So I got the visa at the end of at the end of May, and I did most research and planning. All the knowledges I need to know is basically in June. And in July, I went back to focusing on my schoolwork. And honestly, there's just nothing that I need to learn about anymore at that moment. I've done so much research. This entire preparation really got me, in terms of MBTI, it's like J trait to the max. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, okay, that's about the preparation. And the result is 30K, or 9 plus 9 plus 9. So I got a backpack. What is like a camping backpack, and a basketball bag, and a carry-on luggage, and my badminton racket. That's it. So I guess that's it for all the the things I've been doing since May. And one thing I wanted to say, so I actually went I think a month or more after I did the impulsive decision to apply and actually got my visa, I saw a thread. So I was reading a lot of threads, especially since applying for a working holiday, because so much information are just on there. And I saw this girl that was doing Australia working holiday, also a Taiwanese girl, and I'm not sure which month, but up until like July, August, she was still in Australia, somewhere in Australia, and she applied to be a flight attendant from Emirates. So she applied for Emirates flight attendant, also because of ChatGPT fortune telling. It was just a thing back then that people were just doing fortune telling with ChatGPT, and yeah, and then she got it. So I mean, it's not like, obviously she has all the backgrounds and she has all the prerequisites and skills. It's just very interesting that someone's also doing something like this, and like a very big life decision, because of obviously we already wanted to do it, right? She already wanted to be a flight attendant, and I already wanted to do. It's just the final push. Like, we both were finally pushed by ChatGPT fortune telling. Yeah, so I think that would be it for this episode. And so in a few days I am moving, and it will still be share house but not hostel. And I just hope that the working condition is good and we can actually have some income, and hopefully start to get to know a bit more about the things that's happening here, because I right now feel like we're not really socializing with the other people. So I know I didn't know more as I thought I would after landing. Yeah, so that's it. See you next time.